All right, guys, quick interrupt for the podcast. Prize Picks. Very, very easy. If you guys want to play, I play every week. It's very easy, okay? Go to the App Store right now on your phone. Download Prize Picks. Put in code Bradley. You're going to get basically up to $100. They're going to match you of up to $100, whatever you put in there. But every week I play. It's super fun. It makes it, honestly, more fun for me to watch the games. It makes it more fun for me to watch the fights when I have a little bit of sweat, when it's, it's like a little sweaty. But if you guys like that, if you guys want to rock with me, rock with Prize Picks. Really, really easy. Go to Prize Picks on the App Store. Download the app right now. Use code Bradley. They're going to give you up to $100. They're going to match you. Prize Picks is dope because they make it super easy to just the interface is good. Everything is nice. It's I almost want to show you guys if you haven't seen it. All right, guys, so check it out. Give you an example, right? I don't know if you could see this far or not, but you can maybe zoom in a little bit. Maybe we'll pop it up on the screen. But right now, everything, depending on the time of the year, but the NBA, obviously the playoffs are going crazy right now, but they make it super easy to just pick. It's dumb easy. You just boom, boom. You need to pick two, set it, forget it. You win, you lose. I do both. I'm up right now, so if that feels good. But yeah, if you guys want to do it, super simple, really easy to do. They're in tons of states right now. So go Prize Picks, download the app, put in code Bradley. They're going to match you up to $100. Let's get back into this podcast. Oh my God, there he is. Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, brother.
Okay, solid. Damn.
Oops, there we go.
Yeah, that's good. You don't hear an echo or anything, right?
Nope. How do I sound?
You sound great. You sound perfect, man.
Roger.
Oh my God, bro. So this is the first time you'll be the first guest that I've ever had that wasn't actually in the studio with me. This is kind of exciting for me. I feel good. You're
a little different. A little different. Not bad though, huh?
You could see me, right? Do I look fat from that angle? Or
yeah, you look kind of small. But it's because I'm sitting. It's because I'm sitting so far back. Yeah, I feel like you look like me.
Yo, so how's life, bro?
Life's good. Life's good. I just got back from that Tom Brady roast just like an hour ago. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I seen a lot of clips of that right now. Were you sitting there?
So Dana invited me, and he invited me and Max Holloway. So we were right there, right in the front, right in front of everyone. So I got some strays thrown at me, but yeah, it was super fun, dude.
Yeah, dude. I just saw what Dana said about the my name's Dana, is not liberal enough for you. It's I feel like, dude, do you think that overall, people, I don't know, are becoming less sensitive to?
Yeah, I was surprised and pumped with Netflix to let that
air.
They knew that was gonna go hard. They knew with that kind of a cast that was gonna be crazy. But yeah, I feel like people are becoming less sensitive, less.
Yeah, it's good, man. So how are you feeling just in life after being? I feel like right now, when I look at the UFC, besides obviously the heavyweight guys like Pierre and stuff like that, you are, in my opinion, the guy in the UFC. And it's so crazy talking to you now because, we talked way back before you were that guy and where you are now, and you fully believed that you would get here. Now that you're here, what's different? What's most different in your life?
Yeah, it is crazy because I would always talk like I was gonna, get to this spot, but it's so hard. There's so many guys the UFC kind of give a little bit of push behind, but they just can't fight. They just can't win the right fight, and it's been pretty crazy. I've been able to win all those fights up to here, so it feels good. It feels I feel like I still have a lot of work to do. I always say I want to be bigger than Conor, and that's kind of where my head's at. I still am on that same mindset. Yeah. Meeting Tom Brady last night, just being in that presence of Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, to do it as long as he's done it was super inspiring. So I'm 29. I still got got a good amount of years. Right now, my main focus is just to stay focused and not. Not go crazy. Not just keep doing what I'm doing. I gotta Merab's next. I don't know when, I don't know where. But Merab's a tough fight. Jose Aldo could potentially be after that. Tough fight. Corey Sandhagen, Umar. It's I have absolute just murderers waiting to fight me. So just for right now, just me staying focused and staying in the gym, staying keep my head on straight right now. Just kind of boom, what I'm focusing on.
Yeah. I feel like you've always been so good at that, though. Even when I first met you, like before you had this sort of pressure, you just had that sort of undeniable, I'm going to be that guy and I'm going to do it. I think that's why you're here now. Speaking of the Conor thing, it's interesting because I text you after that fight, the most recent one with Cheeto, and your numbers as far as like pay-per-view was like a couple million off of what the top numbers were for, like the Khabib and the Conor stuff.
Yeah.
So like you're really close there, bro. Like, and no disrespect or shade at all to Cheeto at all, because he's obviously an amazing competitor, an amazing fighter. But your draw it's crazy because I looked at those numbers. It was like 17 mil, and it was Khabib and Conor. That must have been one of the biggest fights ever. And yours just a few off with Cheeto and you. So like your star power is so massive, dude. That doesn't get to your head? Like
I just feel like it's not. I mean, like I'm not number one yet, so it's like it's pointless to be fucking number 3, 4, 5. I don't give. Like I want to be the guy. I want to be the Floyd, the Conor. Like that's my end goal. So maybe when I get there, maybe that's when I lose my mind and spiral downhill and pull a Conor. But until then, I got work to do. So, but yeah, no, it is cool. I do think the UFC is just on such a rocket ship right now.
Huge.
Like I do think I know for a fact that I have pull. I know for a fact that I can do good numbers. But UFC is just, I mean, they can do good numbers with a lot of people. I do think I can do better numbers than most people. But they're crushing it right now.
Yeah, dude. The UFC, I don't know. It feels like it's becoming the most popular sport. Like obviously boxing, the numbers are still there. The pay-per-view buys, like I think what the Garcia and Haney thing, they did like 90 million something total together, which is insane. And speaking of the whole Ryan thing, we'll talk about the steroid stuff, but also get back to the whole Conor thing. Like he sent you guys like a wild tweet. I remember seeing it live and being like, yo, are you good? And then he deleted it really quickly. I don't know what was going on in Conor's life. He seemed a little crazy to kind of throw that insane tweet because he was like something about the Austrian, the steroids, and kill yourself at the end of the tweet. It was insane. But what's that like for you to hear that from someone that I know that you definitely looked up to and probably still look up to in a lot of ways? But now kind of like him pointing at you, where at one point I'm assuming you probably would, I don't know if you would try and throw jabs or try to get his attention, but really wouldn't get it. But now that you're here and you're getting that sort of negative feedback, does that make you feel any type of way?
To be honest, I kind of want to hate him. I want to be like, fuck you. And I've tried to. I've said it. I even messaged him on Twitter. I said, fuck you, just to make me feel a little bit better. But, cocaine's a hell of a drug. He was probably, shadowboxing in the bathroom at a club. And I get it. You say shit. So, I do think there was a lot of jealousy. People like that big of an ego, he sees what's happening. He sees like, he's starting to, he's starting to get pushed out. I'm starting to come up. It's like, there's no other reason for him to talk about me. I've never said anything but praised him. I've looked up to him. So I want to try to hate him, but it's hard. Conor's, he's the man. He really is. But I don't know. I really don't feel any way about it. When I first saw it, I was like, what the f-? Like, that's great. Like, but then I'm like, God, I know he's geeked out. Yeah. Jealous, so he wanted me to sign with their management company. I didn't want to. He sees me blowing up. I don't know. He like you say, deleted it real quick after. I'm sure either his team did or he's like, God, why did I do that? But I don't know.
How do you think that fight goes? You think you ever get a fight with him?
Me versus Conor?
That'd be big, bro. That would be the most insane fight. It would. The numbers would be astronomical, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm pretty realistic when it comes to like big guys. Like I'm like, okay, I'm a 35er. I stay in my lane. I do my thing. I would go up to 45, fight Volk, I'd fight Max, or Ilya, I'd fight Max. But like I'd stay in my lane. Conor's one of the only guys I would fight that I'm like, that motherfucker's big. Like I would fight him at 55. I'd fight him at, first of all, it's a huge payday. Second of all, Conor, it's like, that'd be legendary. So he's one of the rare guys I would fight that are actually way out of my weight class. But yeah.
What about the Ilya fight? I feel like that would be one of the toughest fights. I feel like he's a animal, bro.
Bro, Ilya's a tough fight. Max is a tough fight.
Yeah.
Merab's, bro. There's literally at this point in my career, it's just like there's no easy fight except for Ryan Garcia.
Yo, oh my God, you're funny, bro. So what? So what? Like, is there real beef there?
I don't know. I enjoyed the build up. I thought he crushed it, whether he's crazy or faking it. I enjoyed it. It got me very interested in the fight. What he's
Yeah,
been tweeting and posting and how he's been acting after. I'm there for it. I love the reason I like Conor so much is because he's such a character. He's such a different personality. So
yeah.
Ryan's doing that right now. So I love it. I think it's awesome. Um, but yeah, I can't think of anyone that there's actual beef. Me and Cheeto had beef, but I 50-44'd him, so it's kind of hard to beef with that.
Yo,
So it's like I don't really beef. Gervonta Davis, I would, like the boxers. I like talking to the boxers just because they're so. I mean, they're like, yeah, but I could box you. I'm like, yeah, but I could kill you, like
yeah,
fast.
yeah. I know.
So it's kind
funny
of fun talking.
It's funny even for me because, like, I play the whole like 260 game, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fully believe I'll beat the shit out of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But I always feel like I say it to the MMA fighters, it's always in a different light because it's different, bro. It's like I could probably handle one of those guys because they don't know what to do when they're in that position when they're not able
Zero
to
idea.
box. And you
Zero
guys
idea.
are way different. Where it's like if you took any of those guys to the ground, it's just what tools do they have?
It's not even that. I wouldn't have to take them to the ground.
You,
I could kickbox with it. Boxing is a different range with those gloves on. It's like I wouldn't have to take those guys down to whoop their ass. I mean,
so
I
you
could if I wanted to. I could take them down, but I would. That's not how I would fight those guys.
you
I would
think you
knock
you
them
think you
out.
would you think you'd stand up box like so you would do boxing against Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, my chances of beating Ryan or Gervonta or Devin. Well, I could beat Devin, but to beat those guys in a boxing match, my chances are way lower. Is it possible? 100%. I believe
Yeah,
in myself. I believe in myself. That's how I got here.
yeah,
Add kicks to do a kickboxing fight. It's just not even. It wouldn't even be fair. I'd kill those guys.
yeah. What's your opinion on like how you mentioned the Ryan Garcia where like he's been a character, but he completely became like this out of this world character over the last, promo for this fight and, everything that he was saying about the kids and all this stuff. I respect it and I love it. But like, do you think that was planned or do you think it was like, because when it was all said and done, he was like, yeah, I did this on purpose and you guys thought I was crazy and all this stuff. And I don't know. There's a part of me is like, was it really planned or did it just start to really work? And they're like, okay, this is the plan.
I think
Like, what?
motherfuckers. He's crazy. I think the dude. He's crazy. Anybody that fights, we're all a little bit crazy. That's just how it is. What it is, and he's. I think he was probably drinking. He said he drank every day. I don't know if that was a lie, part of the game. But it seemed like he had been doing a little booger sugar and drinking a little bit, and it kind of just inflated that ego and made him say that he was saying. And again, I loved it. I was all there for it. But I do think he is just a little bit crazy. I'm not
Yeah,
even saying that in like a mean way. I
right.
think I'm pretty crazy too. I handle it. I do my thing, but I think he let loose a little bit and just truly was his crazy ass self.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's entertaining as and it does make the fight game just so much more fun to watch and be and like I mean I'm not a part of it, but to be a part of it even from my perspective and speaking about it and talking about it, it's so much more fun as a viewer because I'm such a fan of it all as well.
Yeah.
Obviously I talk with the whole 260 joke, but like genuinely I'm a big fan of you and I've been a fan of you for a long time. So to see you reach these levels of success is like it's kind of like unreal to me almost because you would just speak it into existence. So like literally, I remember talking to you. Remember you're getting that tattoo or talking back in the,
Yeah.
the 6-9 days. And it was just like, you were so like you knew it before it ever was a thing. Is there anything else like that you really want to do in this space? Obviously you want to be number one. You want to beat like the Merab. You want to beat the Ilya. You want to beat all these guys. But like, do you see yourself actually genuinely going out and doing like the boxing exhibitions or the boxing matches and like going into other sports like that?
I mean, I'm a professional boxer with a record of 1-0, Brad. I don't know if you know that. So it would be exhibition, but yeah, I mean, I want to do big things right now. I definitely don't plan on That boxing, the thing is Ryan blew up that last fight. I think he really, really became like a super star after that
Absolutely.
last fight. So, I go out there, knock Merab out. That you could make that fight happen a lot sooner than I was thinking. But also, I might have to still go out there and get a couple more wins. But I'm not really focused on that. But do I think it'll happen someday? 100%. I think the seed has been planted. All that stuff is kind of growing, and
Yeah.
I got to go out there and do my thing against Merab. That's what's next. I go out there and lose to Merab. It's like that shuts down a lot of the shit. So I got to go out there and beat Merab, and that we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. Nah, Merab's that's a tough fight, man.
Yeah.
He seems like, and it's funny. I think like, I don't know if it's a social media thing or like just an internet thing, but people start to get specifically like in the fight space, like, because when I first interviewed Merab in unison with Aljamain, and I was kind of like, we were joking about fighting them. I was joking about fighting them and blah, blah, blah. But like his character wasn't as much as it is now. I think people's recognize the whole, like, not be crazy, but just kind of be a little bit more outlandish. And a lot more people, yeah.
Be goofy. Yeah.
And a lot more people are like going towards that, like, kind of wild, I guess, content.
Yeah.
Like, do you, I don't know. Is it like do people just see what works and they're like, I'm just going to do it? Or do you think it's always from a genuine spot? Because I feel like some people that I look at, like, they just genuinely have always been that guy that is like, talk a lot of a little bit, like, because before you ever blew up, you always kind of made the, like the funny videos where you would just like punch that dummy in your yard. And you would do the kind of content that, which is also, I think, added to your superstardom, obviously, along the way, which is why you got so many followers on social, even before you were like that guy in the UFC. Like, do you think fighters are now recognizing, like, oh, like, I got to really also leverage this whole internet thing? Like, for example, Sean Strickland, like, he's leveraged the out of the internet in a way that's like crazy, where he's like, at one point it was just kind of like fighters fought and then that was it. And now it's like the social media aspect of like fighting is so important. Do you feel like that's a fair assessment? Like, it is really that important?
100%. I mean, it depends too, like what these guys' goals are. My goal is always to become multi-millionaire. I wanted to become, make a lot of money. And you can make a lot of money in the UFC, not talking, not really, being on social media and doing that thing. But you're not, I mean, it's going to be harder. You're going to have to win 500,000 fights in a row. You're going to have to, I paid more in taxes than I made last year in my fight, and I made a lot of money fighting, but I made triple that from social media, from Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, like all these different social medias. I made triple the amount of money I made fighting. I made a lot of money fighting, so it's like it just depends what these guys' goals are. I think, Merab's on like a 10-fight win streak, one of the most boring guys in the UFC history. And he's finally kind of, changing it up a bit and kind of getting some attention now. So yeah, I think Merab's doing a good job. I think people are finding out they got to be. I think Merab genuinely is a kind of a goofball, and I think he's being like himself, and that's why it's working. I don't think he's forcing it. I think he is trying to, he's being himself, and he's got people helping him come up with these little skits, and it's working because it does seem genuine. He seems like a goofball, so I think that's why it's working.
Yeah, totally. Because he is, like, I've had enough conversation. I mean, he's a nice guy, man, cool guy.
Short,
short, short, yeah,
really short,
dude. Yeah, he's short. He's short. That deadly though, bro. How do you think you finish that fight with a KO? Obviously, everyone wants to say KO because like that. I feel like he's gonna try to take you down so fast. He's gonna go for that.
Yeah, I mean, every fight forever, I'll predict a KO. That's, anytime I close my eyes, I picture myself fighting against whoever's next, whether it's Merab or you. It's like, I know I can put people's lights out. I've been doing it since I was 16 years old. So I know I can put anyone's lights out. Cheeto happened to be just, so tough. He couldn't put his lights out. And, that definitely didn't deter me or I didn't lose any confidence from that. So yeah, Merab, I should be able to put his lights out. Usually the wrestlers that I can put their lights out. Cheeto didn't try to wrestle me once. Obviously didn't put his lights out. Beat the out of him for 25 minutes, but didn't put his lights out. Aljo tried to wrestle me, got knocked out in 2 rounds. So I know I can knock Merab out, but I also know I can put on a 25-minute clinic like I did against Cheeto. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what I prefer a knockout always. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I go out there and put on a masterful performance like I did against Cheeto against Merab, I'll be happy with that too.
Yeah, for sure. So outside of the fight stuff, man, you obviously talk about social media and the different sort of outlets to make money. I see you've been doing a lot of. I know you've always streamed, but you've been doing more streaming lately. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been gaming. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, and I make decent money on Twitch. I make some good money. But I just game because I love it. I don't even like. I get on there not to be like, all right, I'm gonna try to make. I get on there because I love gaming, dude. I love Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I got some big things coming up. I'm actually going to Miami Wednesday for a few days. Gonna go do something with Jake Paul. And yeah, we're constantly working the business mind is constantly
Yeah.
running. So you only got so much time in this sport to do what we can do. So I'm making money moves.
Yeah. What else are you trying to focus on? What else are you building?
I'm continuing to just build the brands that I'm already working with, and then this thing with Jake Paul. Can't say anything about it right now, but I
Yeah.
don't want to do too much. I want to focus on what I've got going on right now, build those, and each fight it just comes down to the way I continue to grow on everything is knocking people out, is winning fights. So the
Yeah.
most of my focus goes into training, goes into fighting. Um, but a lot of people think fighters are so busy. It's like you train once a day, sometimes twice a day, and you have a lot of free time on our hands. Fighters do. So, I use that free time. Obviously, I have a 3-year-old princess. I hang out with my daughter, and then I'm working.
Yeah. The family stuff, man. I saw a clip on I think it was with Schultz, and he was talking about like the whole girl situation, and you like, oh, I can't talk about that stuff anymore. Did your girl was she like, hey, don't talk about the whole polygamy anymore? Or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she doesn't love it. She likes to keep our life private, which I totally get. And when I would bring that stuff up, like the first time I'd bring it up, I just think the conversation's so fascinating, and relationships in general are just so interesting. Um, but I get it from her perspective, because then something gets clipped up, and then people are sending it to her, and then I'm like, why the f are you even reading the comments? And then she's like, I don't know. It's better. She asked me not to, and obviously I'm not gonna, but life's good. I can't complain.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're the man, bro. You're the man. What about the Ryan Garcia stuff and the steroid, the Australian? And I guess apparently he also got popped for, which I wasn't even aware of, but it looked like he was taking nandrolone as well, which wasn't just Australian. Like whatever else they saw him being tested for, I guess whatever in the A and the B samples, but nandrolone is like it's not a SARM, it's not even oral, it's an injectable steroid. I don't know if you know that.
Damn,
Like,
seriously. Well,
yeah,
that's up. That's crazy. Like that if that's true, I know he's trying to say there's people trying to make him have false tests or whatever. I don't think that's true. If he actually tested for something like that, that can't be tainted. Like the injectable that's not a tainted. You can't, that's up.
Finding the derivatives of basically the use of nandrolone, the 19, because I was reading that and I was like, that's because I know obviously what Deca is. I know what nandrolone is. It's weird though, because leading up to the fight, there wasn't that sort of stuff though, which it was just, the whole thing is weird because like I don't see the actual, I don't know if you've actually seen it. I've not actually seen a literal testing that said, yo, he's positive for this.
True.
Is that actually out there?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I mean, and one journalist that doesn't like him can write something up and share it, and then some idiots. Yeah, so I don't know. That's a good point. We gotta see the test. But yeah, if that's the case, then he deserves all that hate getting thrown at him. If that's the case, though, but I think it's important. Yeah, we got to find out the truth, and there should be like a hearing, and there should be like some real behind it.
Yeah, because it was almost like because his angle was. I'm taking pictures with Trump. I'm talking about the kids. It's like, of course, they're kind of smearing this, which like I can understand that. But I just wish I wish there was I thought the VADA thing and the testing thing, it was very just like black and white. It either was or it wasn't, but I don't know if they can like just say this isn't the thing, or if like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know it's just like, it looked like it, from what I've seen, the tests are like, it's an email where it's like, hey, this is positive for this. And it's like, couldn't then also on the same side, someone just be like, yeah, he's positive for that.
Yeah, I feel like we'll probably. I mean, there's got to be like some kind of a hearing or some kind of thing with the athletic commission to where the truth will be um, revealed. That will probably it's probably a timing thing. I'm sure they're probably trying to investigate it and trying to figure it out. That would suck for that idiot because then he loses all that money.
You lose the money?
Oh, he's got to. If he tested positive for straight up steroids, I'm sure they're gonna take away the money. But I only heard about the Austrian, and then I heard about there was rumors of that because I think I watched a video and I saw something a little bit about that. But I don't know. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's the weird thing when I'm like, because I really just want to see it, because you know the internet's definitely a place where anyone could essentially say anything, and that's when it kind of becomes weird. Like anyone could say anything, and then it's all over these blogs, and then no matter if you see the actual truth, like everyone kind of sees the other stuff that was already said, and they're like, oh, this is already true, and like without seeing the real evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like even we talk about the whole like Drake and Kendrick beef or anything on the internet where like people are just saying stuff and anyone's just saying, and you're like, well, where's the actual receipts of these things? It's just the internet has become like a kind of like the Wild West for where people can just say whatever they want and then, you know, kind of deal with whatever repercussions there are later if it's even real or not. It's just like it's kind of a weird, I don't know, it's just a weird space because obviously these productions like, you know, the CNN or whatever, they're going to make these like big titles because it gets them clicks and views. I just wonder like what is the actual real? Like I tried to get Ryan on here to talk about this and he said he was gonna, but he hasn't come to talk about it with me yet. So I'm like, what the going on?
Damn, yeah. I'm curious. I'm super curious to see how that plays out. I'd hope obviously he's not doing that, but
Can they really take
maybe
your money though? They can take your money for real?
if he got straight up caught doing steroids, I'm assuming they can. But if he is, I mean, it just shows how insecure he is. He got put down by Gervonta Davis. Maybe he was a little insecure. Maybe he's like, I need something to help me get over that, and maybe that was that. But until like they have an actual hearing and stuff, I can't really say one way or the other
Yeah, yeah.
until, like you said, there's actual evidence.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, man. So what else is going on in your life, man? You can't really talk about the stuff you're doing with Jake Paul, but like what other sort of businesses do you want to create? You gonna go the Conor route, create like a alcohol or something like that?
I'd like to eventually have my own thing going on, but everything's about timing. Like I said, each fight I just continue to grow and grow and grow, and to really dive in 100% to your own business and be like a huge equity holder and really make big plays and stuff. It takes a lot. So right now I'm just
Yeah.
doing a little bit littler stuff, big things but little things. But yeah, I'm just kind of doing my thing. I'm going back to Helena, Montana here soon. My hometown. I've been there like 4 years. I'm doing a Happy Dad activation over there,
Nice.
which is cool. It's I think Helena's like 30,000 population, so it's not like crazy big, but it's gonna be cool. Take Elena. Elena's never been to Montana, so I'm gonna take her there for the first time. Taking the whole team with me, Tim, Mariah, my video guy. So it'll be cool. It'll be a fun little couple-day trip in Montana. Uh, got a bunch of up and coming kid studs in the room that have my buddy Ezra Elliott just turned pro. He's 1-0. Tommy McMillan's 5-0. He's 6-0, 5-0. He's gonna try to get on Contender Series soon. So it's cool to watch the team grow. Tim's crushing it at his gym, doing good things. I mean, he's doing good on social media as well. He's like
Yeah.
YouTube's doing really well. So it's cool just to see everyone around me doing big things, and we had a really cool thing that we're doing in Arizona.
Yeah. My question specifically about the social media growth and the fights. You mentioned every time like you would obviously win a fight, you would get the most sort of growth on social media. And I've noticed that too because I've watched your accounts over the years. What was
Yeah.
the most followers you ever gained after like a big fight?
Well, that's a good question. If I was just had to guess, which I do have to guess because I'm not exactly sure, I'd probably
Yeah.
say the Aljo fight was pretty. had to have been big just because they released the footage on YouTube right after, on Twitter right after the knockout. It was the first time they have ever done it. So
Yeah.
I think that one was pretty big. The Eddie Wineland knockout was pretty crazy. It was during COVID. A lot of people were watching. I slept him, then walked off like a pimp. So that one was probably pretty big. But I'd say there's the most eyeballs was probably the Aljo fight. My first time main eventing a fight, and I feel like that one had to have been up there. But I think
Yeah.
I'd like to know the actual numbers though.
Yeah, I'm super because I mean, dude, yeah, you've grown tremendously, man, over the years. You
Yeah.
have fun doing all this? Obviously, fighting you obviously enjoy, otherwise you wouldn't do it. But do you have fun doing the social media stuff? Does it get tiring ever?
No, I enjoy the social media stuff. If anything, fighting gets tiring. Fighting like you just got to keep like I said, meeting Tom Brady, and I talked to him a little bit. It was cool. So I was like doing like that, finding a little bit more inspiration, a little bit more motivation to just keep grinding. I live once. I only got this many years left, so it's cool to do things like that. Meet people like Tom Brady that give you an extra little boost. Because I mean, I've been fighting for 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's not brutal. It's hard work, but I do enjoy fighting. I enjoy training, but yeah, I mean, social media is, nothing. I like that. It's fun. That's easy.
Easy, yeah. What would you say to like a fighter coming up? Like what are the obviously besides winning fights in regards to social media, what do you think the keys are to be successful at it? Because you've done it. And you are like the example of it now. I'd say like probably number one in a sport. UFC specifically.
Yeah, I think being goofy is like but I also have always kind of been like a class clown kind of goofball. So I don't know if that's just kind of came natural to me. Sometimes I watch some of the I did like 2, 3 years ago. I'm like, what the that's so cringy. But at the time, I thought it was funny. So I'd say just obvious number one with anything is being consistent. But then there's some guys that are do podcasts and they're consistent, but they just never kind of takes off. But that's just not going to take off a year, 2 years. It might take you 3, 4 years. So a lot of people quit early.
Yeah.
Consistency, I'd say goofy. Trying to improve. You start your people don't even start podcasts because they don't have a producer and 6 cameras and lights and a chair and a desk and a this and a that. Like, dude, start with your iPhone and your AirPods. Make them just start. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't even, they wait for someone to just do something for them or have an idea for them. Or people have ideas, but they don't execute the idea. So I'd say just start, stay consistent.
Yeah. It's not like just start and be yourself, man. Because like you
Yeah.
said, even at that time when you were like, you look back years ago and some shit was corny and at the time you thought it was cool, that was just you being you. I think that's why you have the most success because it's just like you feel it in all your content, whether it be your podcast stuff, your streaming stuff, or your Instagram stuff. It's just you. And I think that's why you have the success outside of obviously being an amazing fighter, which you can't succeed in the sport without having that. But
100%.
yeah, man, I think that's why you have that success. And I think that's why you're so sought after and people love you is because you're just genuine, man. And I know you
Appreciate
on a personal level, and that's like not even me just trying to glaze, even though chat's probably toasting me right now for saying that. But you really are like that dude. You've been that dude, and it's just cool to see you. It's really, really cool to have these conversations with you and see you just like continue to elevate, man. And like, it's just a beautiful thing, dude. I think you're gonna be bigger than Conor someday. Genuinely,
I know I'm gonna be like it was the same way when I said I know I'm gonna be champ. Like it's just a feeling. Like it's gonna happen. I'm not even. I don't lose sleep about worrying about like maybe I'm not gonna be as big as I think. It's gonna happen. Are you live? You said chat glazing. Are you live right now?
No.
Are you just saying like the comments? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying the comments, but no. I have this set up where it could be live, but I would tell you if I was live, number one, before I ever went live.
Yeah.
But number two, like I do want to start doing live shows like this because I have it all set up now really sick because I'm a super nerd. But this one is not live yet. But so to the point about the Conor thing and being bigger, I had a question that was like, do you ever feel, I don't know, do you ever feel like pressure? I don't know. Do you ever doubt? You never doubt yourself in that, because obviously, as a fighter, to be at your level, you can't doubt the fighting. But do you ever have doubts of just like what you're doing in general outside of fighting?
it's so funny. Like before I was on the Contender Series, before I knocked out that dude, before I even got in the UFC, I was saying like I'm gonna be bigger than Conor someday. I got so much hate for saying that, and I still get so much hate for saying that. But I'm like, how are you guys still hating? Look what I've done and continued to do. I'm like 13-0 in the UFC with like 400,000 bonuses. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing it. I'm doing what needs to be done to become as big as Conor. And I'm not there yet, and I don't even know if I'm that close yet. I'm on the right path. I'm on the right trajectory. I go out there and knock out Merab. I go out there and knock out someone else. You know what I mean? Like I'm on my way, but I've got a ton of hate for saying that. As far as doubting myself, not really. Like I said, I kind of just feel like it's gonna happen, but I also know in the back of my head if it doesn't happen, like I've made enough money, I've invested enough money, I have enough assets. Like I could never fight again right now. I could completely retire and live comfortably and be fine with where I'm at right now. So it's kind of a nice, it's like if it doesn't work out, if I don't become big as Conor, like life's still good. So I don't really
Yeah.
doubt myself or stress about it.
Yeah. Do you think if you lost to like the Merab or anyone next, do you think like it would obviously it would slow down that sort of growth, but do you think it would stop it?
No,
Like,
I think I've done enough in the sport now and built a big enough. I mean, look at Conor. He's 0-32 in his last 32 fights. He's still about to go do the biggest pay-per-view of the year. So,
yeah.
and again, I'm not that level yet, but I do think I've done enough big things to be able to still be a draw. I go out there and lose to Merab. It's like my comeback's gonna be, big. It's gonna be bigger than that fight. So my next fight, whether win or lose against Merab, is gonna be bigger than this fight. So I'm gonna continue to grow and continue to become bigger every fight, no matter what. I lose 2, 3 in a row, then it gets a little, then it gets a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
sketchy. But I'm gonna go out there and piece Merab out. I'm gonna go out there and put a clinic on this dude.
No, I believe. I feel it. What social media like what angle of social media do you think is most important for growth outside of fighting? Do you think it's like the Instagram? Do you think it's the Twitch stuff? Do you think it's the podcast? What do you think's helped you the most?
I mean, purely financial from a financial perspective, Instagram. Like Instagram's where I mean, all my deals kind of revolve around social media in general. Tweet, YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram, but Instagram is my biggest platform. So I think Instagram, the podcast too. I mean, Tim and I have been doing the podcast for like 6 years consistently every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Like we don't miss a podcast, and that hasn't really made us a ton of money. Like we've made good money off doing the podcast and stuff, but it's like that's still keeping me relevant. Well, once a week they're seeing me, whether it's on YouTube once a week they're seeing me, on Instagram a couple times a month. I mean, right now actually I would say Snapchat. Snapchat's probably the biggest, my biggest grind right now, and where I'm getting the most views because technically I'm just posting and stuff. So right now, Snapchat, a couple years ago I wouldn't have said that because I wasn't really on the Snapchat grind and they weren't really blowing up again like they are right now. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Snapchat right now.
Bro, Snapchat's the best. I love that app, bro.
I love
They
Snapchat too.
I mean, they're doing it right as far as working with creators and the way that they pay out for like the YouTube, I think is like 70-30. I think Snapchat's like 60-40 or like 50-50 almost. So like the ad revenue is just kind of insane there. Do you just like post like just your daily life?
Yeah, it's pretty much daily vlogs. Morning champ, wake up, morning. Sometimes I post my coffee routine. I make coffee every morning. I use an AeroPress and I have a little routine. Sometimes I post that. I hop in the sprinter, head to the gym, train, head home, game, like and go back to the gym sometimes. Sometimes I chill. It's like just pretty much daily vlogs. My chickens are out back, running around. I got some horses over there. My neighbor's horses. I let her use my property because hers was a little bit smaller. So I got horses running around to take pictures of those guys. It's kind of daily life of the Suga Show.
Yeah, fire. So you did some streaming stuff. I saw you did some stuff with Adin. They tried to make you look like a bad guy because you're reading comments, right?
Yeah,
do you remember that?
I saw that. I haven't been on social media as much, but my little brother told me about that, and then I looked it up and saw it. I forget what it was because I think I read a comment that he was a fat Jew or something, and I read it out loud,
Yeah.
and they said I forgot. They thought I forgot my mic was on and called him a fat Jew.
Yeah.
That's funny though.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. So do you like the live stream?
It's sketchy. It's
Yeah.
you gotta be on, you gotta be on fucking dialed in, but it's interesting. I like it. I like it's almost like another form of entertainment. Like it's like you're
Yeah.
streaming on Twitch. Like I obviously like the live stream when I'm streaming on Twitch. Playing video games is different than doing IRL, but I didn't mind it. I don't. It was cool. I thought it's. I don't think it's for me. But it was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. Who would you say, like, in your stardom and your famousness, whatever you want to call it, but who would you say that you've met that you've been like, damn, this is the coolest out of the coolest, like, who was the coolest celebrity that you met?
Um, I don't really know like a ton of celebrities, like actors and shit. I don't really know like I couldn't tell you who played in what. Like Ben Affleck came on the roast yesterday, and like I don't
Yeah.
know. I couldn't have told you who that guy was. I know his name, like I know he's famous. I know he's, but I
Batman.
couldn't tell you. See, I don't even know if I've ever watched Batman. But it was cool. It was cool meeting Tom Brady. Like again, recency bias. Met him yesterday, last night. That was really
Yeah.
cool. It was cool seeing all these athletes in the NFL. Charles Woodson, Gronk, all these guys being like fans of me and excited and love what I do. And they're like, "Yo, I was at that fight when you fought that green haired kid." And like,
Yeah.
it's cool seeing those, those athletes that watch me do my thing and perform. So that's cool. But yeah, Tom Brady was probably up there again to play that long and to do what he's done. It's been inspiring and it was
Yeah.
really cool. So he's definitely up there.
Yeah. It's cool. It is pretty cool. It's got to be surreal though, because like the fighting game and like specifically the UFC, dude, everyone watches that. Like every
Yeah.
single celebrity. Like I was leaving UFC 300, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I was leaving, and Jared Leto was leaving in like a G-Wagon, and he stopped his car and was like, he's pointing at me and Sarah because we were standing on like the side waiting for a car to get out, and he was like, "I love your guys' content." And that was one of the weirdest moments for me because I was like, "Why the f is Jared Leto, this like famous actor of however many years, is like?" I'm also like, "Where does this person even see my content at? Like, is this guy scrolling on TikTok?" Like, but for you, it's cool, man, because like there's something so special about fighting that just brings everyone. Like everyone loves to watch that, and the UFC is like they're crushing it, and the type of fighting that is, I just think it's just a modern day gladiator. That's essentially what you are, man. Like it doesn't surprise me that all these other athletes from all these other sports and celebrities and all these people are all like because people love that, man. Like fighting is it's just the most classic thing to watch. It's the most captivating thing, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's the coolest. It's the coolest thing to become, famous for doing is knocking people out, whooping people. Like it's one of the coolest. I think about that sometimes. I literally became popular from knocking people out. And I make millions of dollars doing it, so it is a trip. It's wild, but yeah, again, UFC gives us that platform. UFC is the dopest sport in the world. It's in a way. NFL's sweet. Don't get me wrong. NBA is sweet, but UFC is the sweetest.
Yeah, bro. It's a blessing, man. Well, listen, dude, I really appreciate you coming on and giving me some of your time. And I know I don't even know if you got to do some that you're probably going to stream, but I just want to say thank you, man, for coming on and for always showing me love and being, because it's cool to me, because it's like knowing you from where you were to know where you are now, and just know that you're still that same genuine dude. Like I just have a ton of respect and a ton of love for you, man, and I'm proud of you. And I think
appreciate that.
You really are that guy. You really are that guy, Sean, for real. And I just hope the world knows that no matter what, man, no matter what happens, no matter how far you go, even though I think you're going to the top forever, man. So I just want to say thank you for coming on and giving me your time, for real.
100%, bro. No worries, brother. Ryan Garcia, Conor McGregor, Merab, peace.
I love you, brother. Yo, thank you. All right, yo, so if you guys like the pod, let me know. I have to I want to be better at getting guests who are afar. Because I realized like I could get so much more stuff done with people that I know. Obviously, it's hard to get everyone here in person. So let me know if you guys liked it. If you didn't like it, too bad. I'm still going to do it. I want to learn how to do the live streaming stuff so that I can actually live stream this stuff, whether it be on like Twitch or Kick or wherever I decide to go, or YouTube probably, because where you're seeing this now. But yeah, massive love to Sean. Thank you guys for watching every Tuesday, 11. Obviously I did it where I had Steiny here and I had Bob on there, but I'd like to get a mix of it all. And I want you guys' feedback on it. And I just want to say thank you for watching. I love you guys. Um, yeah, is that? I think that's all we got, right?